in family practice, which I still do. What's really exciting is we're going to have another, in fact, we're going to be signing today, and we're going to be filing with the state on Friday, the Repealed Cannabis Prohibition Act of 2012, and the proponents are going to be Joe Rogaway, Pebbles Trippett, Omar Figueroa, William Panzer, and myself. So it's a stellar group that have been involved in this since the beginning, and it really is true legalization. So I'm really excited about this.
Well, let's get into what true legalization is. What are we going to do with this Repeal Cannabis Prohibition Act of 2012?
Okay, well, it says the following statutes are hereby repealed from the Health and Safety Code. So basically, it repeals pretty much everything in the code that relates to cannabis. The only things that then we have to say is about driving and about minors. So then somewhere it says, let's see, cannabis-related conduct that contributes to delinquency of a minor shall continue to be punished by Penal Code Section 272. Driving while impaired by cannabis shall be punished by Vehicle Code Section blah, blah, blah. So we really take cannabis everywhere out of it, except that we have to keep certain punishments, because that's what's going to come up. What about the children? Mm-hmm. And as much as I did support Prop 19 because it was the one that made it to the ballot, the biggest complaint was that it increased the penalties for for smoking with the minor. So in fact, smoking with anybody under 21 years of age. So I think this one is going to be true legalization, not written by the dispensary owners, and some of my best friends are dispensary owners, but really this is written by two of the best criminal attorneys, and Pebbles Trippett, who's been an activist for the longest time, and myself. So
Dr. Lucido, is this a kind of a deal where you're repealing everything that makes cannabis illegal, except for, of course, the driving and the kids, but not proposing how it shall be legal, like how it's going to be regulated, taxed, grown, all that?
Well, we have a pretty good floor or ceiling, let's say. It says any regulations created by the Department of Public Health. Well, actually, we give the Department of Public Health the authority to, we give them 180 days to enact commercial regulations. So first of all, it's great to put it in the Department of Public Health rather than under law enforcement. And basically, that's just for commercial. So nothing shall be taxed commercially that's under 3 pounds and under 100 square feet of canopy.
Oh, okay.
So it's a generous enough floor or ceiling, whichever way you want to look at it, so that personal use, has a generous amount. And then and above that, it says the legislature has 180 days to effectuate a plan for commercial.
So, Dr. Lucido, is there a place on the web where our listeners can go to look up the language and figure out what's going on with it?
Yes. Cannabis Law Institute has a website. I don't know if we have. We're with the final version. Just is going to be signed tonight. So what's on there is probably a couple months old, and we're going to have within the day or so, somewhere between tonight when we sign it and Friday when we bring it into the state, it will be on that website. So Cannabis Law Institute. I'll also have it on my blog, which is easily found by just Googling Frank Lucido and blog. And
okay. We're speaking with Dr. Frank Lucido, who's a longtime medical marijuana doctor and activist in the state of California. Also on the line, Dale Sky Jones, the Chancellor of Oaksterdam University. And Dale, last time we were talking legalization in 2010, you were leading the campaign with Prop 19. Is there another campaign now on the horizon for 2012?
Indeed, I was very, very pregnant leading the charge.
Yes, you were.
So I now have a new baby and a new coalition. Yes, my other baby. Frankly, the original group from Prop 19, did continue on and in fact worked towards improving upon the coalition. The current advisory group consists of. Well, I am the chair. My vice chair is Alice Huffman. She is the director for the California NAACP. I also have Antonio Gonzalez, who's the director for Latino Voters League, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. UFCW Representative Dan Rush. We do have the labor unions, as well as unspoken support amongst many more that maybe aren't represented on our board but are part of our advisory panel. We've been focused largely on polling and testing and research. The biggest push that I've had personally is to increase the coalition and try to bring truly the opposition from Prop 19 into a new coalition, and both working on new legislative things for California and working towards really what our possibilities might be in 2012 is what we've all been focused on. And it's remarkable because I've been working shoulder to shoulder with the people that held up the No on 19 signs. So it's exciting to move forward. And I'm actually excited to hear about Frank Lucido's and Joe Rogaway's and the whole group. There's countless folks that work on that. I understand that there is some very interesting language that has come of that we're also taking a look at. The difficult part is what to do with medical, and that's really the crux of the issue across the board. I fear that their group will come against a lot of the same opposition that we did in 2010, and that's why we're looking very seriously at the best way to move forward on regulating medical cannabis.
So at this point,
everything's on the table. Everything is on the table.
So basically, at this point, Dale, you don't have any particular language drawn up, but you're polling and researching and working to build coalitions to come up with some language for 2012.
Well, I didn't say we didn't have language.
Oh, okay.
We do have language. To be honest, we have two different sets of language going, and perhaps even three if you count everyone within the current coalition. What we're exploring right now are those things that were not touched upon previously. We've got a great body of knowledge all about what we did do, what we did right, what we didn't do enough of, and what we did wrong in 2010. Now it's time to explore those things that were not under consideration in 2010, and that's what our partners in the cannabis movement have asked us to do. There's great concern about moving forward with legalization without some recognition of a regulated medical cannabis system. And we are looking at some of the same things that Dr. Lucido mentioned, the Department of Health, how taxes might work, what the overall regulatory program might look like. We are pretty clear now, after working with the legislature so closely for the last couple of years, that they don't feel confident that they can do it well. And I don't know that we want to leave it to them. So it's up to us to find the best path forward. And, I invite all of the folks from the Pure Legalization Coalition that Frank was just mentioning to come talk to us.
All right. Well, Dr. Lucido, let's get back to your Repeal Cannabis Prohibition Act. From, the experience that we had in California with Prop 19, what lessons did you take from that in putting together the Repeal Cannabis Prohibition Act?
Well, one of the things that we have is one of the subsections said, this act shall not adversely affect the individual and group rights and protections afforded by California Health and Safety Code 11362.5 through 11362.83. So that means all of Prop 215 will be protected and all of Senate Bill 420 will be protected. So the arguments by people like stoners against Prop 19 will be dissolved because we're spelling it right out that that medical will still be protected. No rights.
I hope they hear you, Frank.
Pardon me?
Because they didn't. I hope they hear you. And frankly, we said the same thing, and it was ignored.
Well, you know what they said, and I think they were wrong in saying this, but they said, well, you didn't say it explicitly. Like, obviously you said it, but,
right? That's why I'm saying
it was time to say it explicitly.
I really do. I welcome the conversation and the debate.
Both of you, I kind of facetiously wrote about this after Prop 19 when I was analyzing what had happened, and I said the next legalization initiative needs to have three very important clauses in it. Clause number 1, this does not affect medical marijuana. Clause number 2, this does not affect medical marijuana. Clause number 3, if you think this affects medical marijuana, please see clause number 1 and clause number 2.
Well said.
But it's
Well
an interesting
done.
situation that we live in, or that you guys live in, I should say, in California being the first medical state and having, you know, you got people that have grown up with this who know nothing different than the medical marijuana situation down there. And I can imagine they get a little frightened of change. So, Dale, what do you want to do this year to, try to soothe those feelings?
Well, first and foremost, it seems as though people did not feel heard in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's been a massive effort through the entire advocacy community, with the help of folks like Normal and DPA, MPP, and a lot of local groups throughout California to bring together different next step conferences, to have surveys out there, and then, again, to do real life, hardcore political polling that, takes money and time. So we're moving forward with evidence-based research, which is a first for this. We haven't had, in recent memory, of course, 30 years ago was the last time that a Prop 19 came around.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, really our first opportunity to have factual numbers and realistic expectations rather than just, a shot of hope in the dark.
Yeah, good thing. All right, let's got to wind things up here. So, Dale, let me give you a chance to give all of the web addresses and contact info, both for any proposals and group working that you're doing on this legalization, and for Oaksterdam and expansion into Michigan.
Certainly. Well, cannabispolicyreform.org or just simply the Prop 19 website will redirect you if you want to learn more about what we're working on there. But more importantly, coming up here in just a couple of weeks, Oaksterdam University is coming to Michigan over Labor Day weekend, so you probably already have the time off of work. These seminars have been updated, and we dropped the price. So the basic seminar is only $250. It's all day Saturday and all day Sunday. We have an open house Saturday night if you just want to come by and check it out. We're also interested in offering breakout groups for advocates of other states to network with one another. So if you're from Ohio and you want to try to get Ohio going, come meet me in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and we can make that happen. Also, the advanced seminar on Monday, Labor Day, is only $100. That's what we usually charge just for Kyle Cushman.
Yeah.
But you're getting Kyle, you're getting patient relations, economics, and a full-blown caregiver course with an attorney, Matt Abel. So you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck in these 3 days, and it's driving distance to an awful lot of states. So I hope you visit oaksterdam.com and click on Michigan. Again, it's reduced price, just the September 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so it's right around the corner.
All right. Thank you, Dale.
See you there. I'm going to be there, too, with the whole family.
Fantastic. And will you be up in Seattle this weekend for HempFest?
Sadly, no. I had to pick one, and I am choosing Michigan. But much love to all of my old friends. I used to live in Seattle, and I'm so glad that they're able to continue to put that on.
Okay. Well, we hope to see you soon, and also hope to see your new baby soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jackson. It's wonderful.
And Dr. Frank Lucido, practicing in California, medical marijuana expert and activist with the Cannabis Law Institute, the Repeal Cannabis Prohibition Act of 2012. Look up Dr. Frank Lucido on the Google, Lucido, and you'll find his blog and website, and Cannabis Law Institute to find more information about the Repeal Cannabis Prohibition Act of 2012. And Dr. Lucido, thank you for joining us here on Normal Show Live.
Oh, great. And can I say something really nice about Oaksterdam? I was in Michigan. I was wearing my Oaksterdam jacket, and I went into this Greasy Spoon, and the guy behind the counter said, "Oh, Oaksterdam, they were just here. This was in Ann Arbor." So you just had your classes there the week before, so your reputation precedes you.
That's what scares me. That wasn't actually us. That was another school.
No. This was Oaksterdam had already done a class there, right?
We had. This was a couple years ago, though. The last time that we
this was a couple years ago that I was wearing my jacket.
Oh, right on. Okay, no, I hear you. No, that was us, and we've actually taught now over 1,000 students out of our Michigan classes over the past 2 years. Michigan is amazing.
And there are some wannabes there. There are some wannabes, I know.
And more than half of the folks that came to the Michigan classes were from states other than Michigan. Blew my mind. Yeah, that's why we've made sure to write these classes for really any state to come and participate with only a couple of specific Michigan points.
All right. Well,
I look forward to widening our coalition with the Prop 19 committee, and it's going to be a great campaign in the next 15 months.
All right.
I look forward to it.
We're all looking forward to it. California, we hope you lead the way in legalization. We get this passed at least in one state, hopefully 4 or 5. So Dale Sky Jones and Dr. Frank Lucido, thanks so much for joining us here on Normal Show Live.
Great. Thanks.
All right.
Yar! There be pirates here. Har, 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 har. You know why we pirates love the Normal Show? Har, har. 'Cause it's always smoking matey. Har, 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 har.